Yeah, you take it's not the worst thing it's gonna have. Just this. I see, they're just putting, you're updating the. Yeah, I think that's all. That's what's candy on
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for Michael Ryan, who served our country in the Air Force, Kingston Police Department, and the Town of Ulster Police Department. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman DeGroot.
Thank you.
Here.
Councilwoman Hayner.
Here.
Councilman Schatzel.
Here.
Councilman Van Cleek.
Here.
Supervisor Quigley.
Here. Before we proceed with our agenda here, I would like to point out the safety announcements. The exit signs are in the back. Please exit in an orderly manner, if so instructed. But before I move on, I have the following to state to the Town of Ulster citizens. Yesterday morning, Suzanne Reeve, Town Clerk, swore me into the oath, with giving me the oath of office for the supervisor's position for the term of January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. I ran to serve. I was elected to serve. I will serve. But what happened? I got upset the night of election night and made a decision to step back. Not just step back, but totally abandon any connection with any individual in town government. For the next 40 days, I did not speak to the press. I did not speak to any members of the Town of Ulster's town board or any of the department heads. I basically focused on spending up to 2 hours a day at the Hudson Valley Mall walking, doing yoga, meditation, and reading philosophy. Over the last couple of years, Mr. Van Cleek and I have had the opportunity to share reading lists. And we shared a book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Atera. Coincidentally, we both made the recommendation to Mr. Obujeski for the book at the same time, and he appreciated that. But I want to point out the following. In chapter 17 of the book, there's an interview with Ken Baldwin, who jumped from the Golden Gate Bridge in 1985. He was the only one who's ever survived. Dr. Atiyah says in his book, I instantly realized that everything in my life that I thought was unfixable was totally fixable, except for having just jumped. That was the position I found myself in after my resignation letter was submitted. I proceeded to cash out my deferred comp, make applications to the New York State retirement system, and apply for Medicaid. I was truly intent on stepping back. On December 10th, or thereabouts, I received an email from Jason Kovacs, which was a copy of an opinion from the New York State Association of Towns that basically said that the letter that I offered on November 6th was not effective. I'm not going to get into the technical legal jargon, but that letter was then given to Mr. Kovacs, and he provided an opinion to the town board that echoed the opinion of the Association of Towns. I didn't think much of that at the time, but I had the opportunity on Monday and Tuesday of this week to speak with elected leaders in this town. And some feelings were dredged up over why I came here in 2009 to run for this office, and why I have walked back repeatedly to other opportunities to step away. It is truly a desire to give back to this community, as I made it clear in those conversations that this was never about any economic reward. It was about the ability to give back to a community that my family settled in 1849. So with that said, I just want to leave you with this one comment. My philosophy readings included Marcus Aurelius and his book Meditations. And he said in 46 AD, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. I reacted at a moment of weakness on events that I had no control over. And I promise I'm going to try to do better going forward. So I thank you. I thank Deputy Supervisor Van Cleek for doing an admirable job in my absence. I said tonight when we got together, I am not going to look back on anything that was done. I will accept the decisions that this board made in the past, and we will look to the future. Thank you very much. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? The agenda contains budget transfers and modifications that will be deferred to the next meeting. There will be a change in the 2 line items relating to special meetings and the organizational meeting. We have discussed tabling the RUPCO pilot. We will do so at the appropriate time. The executive session is no longer necessary. And one of the EFPR engagement letters is combined with another item. So with that, Mr. Van Cleek.
the abstract.
No responses?
I'm sorry, I went to the wrong line. At our previous meeting, there were two significant issues of public comment. One regarded in Glen Eyrie. There had been an accident involving a school bus and a pedestrian, which resulted in the injury of a person. And the people from Glen Eyrie were concerned about what we could do in that area. So the highway department and the police chief have worked together on that. I believe the speed trailer was there 3 times. Is that correct? Twice? Speed trailer was there twice. And the highway superintendent is looking into options for the area, but nothing can be practically done in the wintertime with the snow. Do I understand correctly that speed bumps that were requested are not a viable option at this point? Is that correct, Frank?
Right.
Okay, but we are looking at other options, including striping and other options for that area. So it was talked about several times the last couple of weeks, so it's not a forgotten issue, and we will continue to work on it. The second item was brought up by Nick Werner. He was concerned why we had put the apparent wrong supervisor's report in the meeting notes. We did put the wrong one in, and prior to accepting it, it was corrected by the comptroller Tashka and myself. It was approved and corrected, and the correct one was presented to the board that night. The correct one was also then included in the minutes of the meeting for that night. And that would be the only comments that I had noted on that we had to make response on at the time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Public discussion on agenda items. Is there anyone here tonight who would like to speak on items listed on our agenda? We will have a second opportunity to speak later on any and all items. Mr. Obujeski.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, Regis Obujeski, 170 Ledge Road. Jim, I appreciated your comments. I also appreciated the recommendation that you and Clayton made with the book by Peter Attia, All Outlive. I learned a lot. And I think I said to both of you in my comments, which were laudatory of the book, that if I were the editor, I would have placed the section, the last chapter, not the epilogue, but the last chapter first. And that last chapter had to do with emotional understanding of oneself. And Dr. Peter Attia had a breakdown, and he learned from that breakdown. So this can happen to anyone. And I would say that many of us are emotionally fragile from time to time. And he basically said that if you don't have a reason to want to live, you're probably not going to. And so what he said about diet and exercise and planning on the XY axis so that you would continue a long and beautiful life means nothing, if you're not centered yourself. And I said that not just because I thought it was instructive. I thought it was instructive even now in this situation. I have to say, officially welcome back. However, it's really okay. It's really okay to make a decision not to be here or to pass the torch. And I thought you did that. I think that was something that shook up this whole town. And now the return has reshaken us again. What does this mean? Not good, bad, or indifferent, but what does this mean? There are perceptions just in the community, and not necessarily in our town, that are, an unfriendly joke. That we're like a squirrel. We're like a squirrel crossing a busy road. Will the squirrel make it? Will the squirrel decide? And if the squirrel decides, will it decide another way? And what they're talking about is the sense of indecision on important matters that pertain to this town, and in this case, leadership. And part of leadership is self-awareness, is emotional control. I know we talked about this before. This is, it's not a secret. We all work to be better aware of who we are. So I took just personally your decision to move on as a good one for you. Honestly, I thought that. And Anna, yours wasn't a verbal, you were silent about not being here.
I only missed 2 meetings and then one my dog died, so.
Right, okay, okay, so, but you weren't here, and those actions leave one to just, wonder. And that wondering might be unfair. And I felt, I remember Norman Lear, when he had his 100th birthday in 2022, and he was interviewed by the New York Times. And the one thing that stuck out in that was, he said, 2 words have been very important to me as I've lived my life. And he says, those who are close to me know what those two words are.
Over and next.
Exactly. Over and next. It's important to know when something is over and when the next thing begins. And he gave some examples in his life, leaving college to join the Army Air Force at the time, and he did 50 sorties over Europe to prevent the Nazi occupation. Anyway, but the over and next is something that we all face. I face it with my own health problems. I make no secret of it. I faced it with changing my careers when I ran an organization for 26 years, and the board president says, Regis, we love you. We want you to live to 120, but we want a succession plan. I know it's time. I don't really want to take up too much more of your time, but I kind of took, Jim, I took you at your word, and I was glad for you. Okay. And I haven't gotten glad that you're back. And the people who took over after you have been doing a great job. The 3 people, Mary Ann Clayton, they've done a great job in collecting and trying to conduct the business of the town. But it really is okay. It really is okay to move on and not to change your mind.
So Regis, basically, you want to see me go.
No,
That's okay. It's okay, because I fully understand
yeah.
that there's people on one side of the argument, there's other people on the other side. I can't control that. And I'll shut up, because the reason is you really should control your reactions, and I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah. Well, in any case, I was very surprised by tonight. I was surprised about 6 or 7 weeks ago. Very surprised about that, and we've all adjusted, and we've made these adjustments, on more than just one occasion, but on several occasions. And I think it puts the town in a tough spot. And a tough spot to say, our town is solid. We have a direction until next week. And then things change. So anyway, I have some very mixed feelings. So I want to welcome you. But I also was glad that you had retired, and you said that this was irrevocable, but you didn't mean it.
I'm not responding. Thank you.
I know. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Is there any additional comments, Ms. Murphy?
Good evening. My name is Eileen Murphy. I reside at 114 Quail Drive, Town of Ulster. I am speaking tonight on the news I heard before the meeting that Supervisor Quigley is again not resigning, despite the great lengths he went advising his resignation as town supervisor just over a month ago. I thought most of the afternoon about the impact with a plethora of thoughts and feelings, and decided to address my thoughts in public, as I felt it to be my responsibility as a citizen, as I have a relationship with this town, trusting my civic needs are being protected. I'm a retired therapist with a long history of developing therapeutic relationships with clients. Before I was a therapist, I was a caseworker for the Ulster County Department of Social Services, and it was children and families who were my clients. Both sets of clients came to me for help, and they relied on me to protect their confidentiality and trusted my consistent presence and to be honest about the power inherent in my title and to hold it in their best interest. The work I did on a micro level as a social worker and the client's growth and development was based on the relationship built on trust. The last 10 years, I have attended town board meetings as a citizen, an activist, and an advocate like I was for clients, but now for my neighborhood and my town in general. I am still acting as a social worker, but now on a macro level. In this role as advocate, I am also in a relationship as a citizen, hoping to trust elected officials who have power over decisions made in my town. A therapist who is inconsistent with regard to her commitment to her job, her clients, loses her clients' trust, therefore impacting the relationship. In closing, when there appears to be a lack of consistent commitment by elected officials, citizens lose trust. The political relationship suffers, and the town's business for the good of the citizens is impacted. In closing, I'll ask that trust, when broken, is difficult to regain. So it is with caution that I continue my advocacy in this political body, but necessary in light of recent developments. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ma'am?
Good evening. My name is Marie Barnes. I live at 1 Marilena Avenue, town of Ulster, Kingston. I'm here because I heard about your decision to come back. My question is, my first thing that crossed my mind is, what is this going to look like for the town of Ulster in the Freeman tomorrow? You know, back and forth and back and forth. But now that I'm here and I hear your statement, Mr. Quigley, I just wonder what upset you so much about an election that made you react like that. It's an election. It's democracy. It's what happens. And, you know, I'm concerned that if you're the town supervisor and you have a hard time with elections and you know, the results of them, that's a concern for me as a resident of the town. So I just wanted to let you
Thank you
know.
for sharing that.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional comments? Approval of the minutes for November 6th and 20th. May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make that motion.
There a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Announcements, Ms. Reedy?
I have one letter of communication received today via email. It reads, Supervisor Quigley and members of the town board. Last year at this time, I wrote the town board requesting a committee be established to update the town's comprehensive plan that was adopted in 2007 during my time as supervisor of the town. I am renewing that request as I feel it is imperative that we begin to address these issues in a productive and constructive way. Additionally, I renew my request for the creation of a revamped affordable housing law for the town. Affordable housing is still at a critical level of need in Ulster County, and it is time we require the inclusion of affordable housing units in all new residential developments. I'd be happy to serve if the Comprehensive Plan Committee is established and also to discuss and model affordable housing law. Thank you for your consideration. Happy and healthy new year. Nick Warner.
And that was the only one?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry, there's one thing that I missed the talking about, so during the pre-meeting, the controller's abstract of claims, I will present that, or you have it? Go ahead then, thank you.
The comptroller's abstract of claims for the last month was a total of $465,631.51. It included wires and direct checks, and it's listed in the 2 pages of the document. Make a motion that be accepted.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion approved. Thank you. Budget transfers and modifications will be handled at the next meeting. Moving on to new business. First item is a presentation and acceptance of the town clerk's monthly report for the month of November 2025. Is there anything you would like to call our attention to?
No, nothing to report.
May I have a motion to accept the town clerk's report for November?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the presentation and acceptance of the supervisor's monthly report for the month of November 2025. Just want to call to your attention in the cash report that as designed, the profile of the deposits between demand deposits and time deposits were coming down to the end of the year. We only have $4 million left at the end of November in available cash, but we had a $2 million certificate of deposit that was maturing in the middle of December. We have plenty of cash to get us through to the end of the year. And we have locked in interest rates that are above market now that will continue to protect the town's financials revenue stream for the next year and a half. So may I have a motion to accept the supervisor's monthly report?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is a presentation of the town's fee schedule for 2026. It does not require any action by the town board. It is posted on the town's of Ulster's website. I just wish to call to everyone's attention that the water and sewer rates are in the process of being revised, and the presented document does not have the current water and sewer rates. We'll notify you when they are finished. In our book is a detail on the 2026 transfer station permit fee. It remains the same as last year. May I have a motion to authorize the transfer fee for 2026?
I will make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Mr. Groot, for the personnel issues.
I do. I need to first amend, there's 2 points here. I've asked for this 2 separate times and actually put it in writing, but for some reason, the wage cannot be changed, so I am doing this manually myself. Nancy Gallo, who has been here for 43 years for the town, we would like to hire her back part-time temporarily as the account clerk and typist in the supervisor's office. It is not a union position. Part-time is not covered under any other type other than what she currently gets as being retired. And like the other 2 people that were hired part-time, I would like her wage to be $35 as well if she is needed.
So I have a motion to amend.
I am going to make this motion that we amend what is currently on here, in here, and on this piece of paper that I have crossed out and changed it and initialed it.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
So I need a motion to approve it.
I now need a motion to approve it.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
All
Thank you
those in
very
favor?
much.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I have Ryan Parks, who's gonna be a seasonal labor in the water department. Non-competitive civil service, union position is no. Part-time is not covered, his wage is at $20 an hour. He worked during the summer as a seasonal laborer and will be coming back to work during his school break. He will work from December 10th until January 2nd, and he will be paid at the same rate of $20 per hour, please.
Motion, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion approved.
Alyssa Bigelow, part-time clerk. In the town clerk. Union position is no, part-time is not covered, the wage is $21 an hour, her start date would be 12/22. Alyssa will be working part-time in the town clerk's office. She was employed in the town clerk's office from July of 2021 through April of 2025, and she is returning to the same position.
Motion,
I'll make that motion.
all those in favor? Aye. You can skip over Kelsey.
No, I put her last. Kelsey Kohler, seasonal clerk, supervisor's office. Seasonal, non-competitive position, not a union position. She is not health insurance eligible because part-time is not covered. The wage would be $20. Her start date would be January 2nd of 2026. Kelsey will be working part-time as a seasonal employee at the rate of $20 per hour, no benefit. She will be helping out in the supervisor's office.
Have a motion,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I would like to welcome all of the people back that are coming back, and we appreciate them coming back and working here once again.
The resignation.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I just have to hold on 2 seconds. So I would also like to have a motion to accept the resignation of a part-time dispatcher from the police department. Thank you.
Have a motion,
Effective 10/28, I am resigning from the Town of Ulster Police Department. I thank you for allowing me to be a member of this department, and I wish you all well in your future endeavors. John Matheson.
I'll make the motion.
second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is been deleted. The next item after that is a motion to set the 2026 organizational meeting for Thursday, January 1st, 2026 at 11 a.m. May I have a motion?
I'll make that
Do I
motion.
have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the authorization to enter into an employment agreement with Lieutenant Seyfarth. May I have a motion to accept it as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion on the matter?
And I'll third it.
We've had extensive discussion among the board and with Lieutenant Seyfarth. We also discussed with our attorneys for the labor negotiations. There are some changes in this contract which have made this more palatable for him and beneficial to us. So we are comfortable and satisfied to be able to bring this forward and recommend it for signature.
May I have we have a motion in the
Roll call?
roll, no, I'm just gonna, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Is Andy here today?
Nope.
No, only the chief.
The next four items which relate to the police department will be grouped as a single vote. It is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the intermunicipal agreement for police services with the city of Kingston. The 2026 range agreement with the Kingston Police Department, the town of Rosendale, the town of Woodstock Police Departments. The 2026 range agreement with the Ulster County Law Enforcement Training Group. And finally, a motion to authorize the supervisor, deputy supervisor to sign the 2026 range agreement with the New York State DEC. So I may have a motion to authorize those four agreements.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Chief Berardi, on the DWI agreement, in the pre-meeting, I asked you to bring me up to speed. Would you explain for the residents what we're doing here?
This is a standard agreement we sign with Ulster County every year for DWI grant money. It's for the fiscal year January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. We have increased, or they have increased our funding an additional $3,000 from last year. So I'm happy to report that.
So the process is we incur time in the enforcement of the DWI laws, and then make application for reimbursement.
That's correct.
May I have a motion to authorize the agreement?
Motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If with the, since Mr. Chief Girardi's up here, I'm gonna just come back to Archtop. But the next item is the authorize the chief of police to sign the 2026 Emergency One Agreement for EAP, drug screening and police. Would you explain that one, please?
This is a standard agreement as well. We sign with Emergency One every year. It's for professional services, as it says, EAP, drug screening, and police officer candidate physical. So they perform the services for us as needed.
And many of these services are required by state law now, aren't they?
Police officer candidate physical is required by DCGS standards.
May I have a motion to authorize the execution of the document?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item is a motion to authorize the chief of police to sign the 2026 agreement with Dr. Gerald Fix for licensed professional assessment and reporting. Can you explain that one?
This is a 2-year agreement, as the last agreement was. This is also required by DCGS standards for all new hires. This is for psychological screening and testing, and then he reports on it.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Wait, before you go somewhere, Chief, are we allowed to use the wellness people that are supplied by the county for our officers?
We do.
We do use that?
Mhm.
Okay. I
They're
was
downstairs.
Town,
They were downstairs yesterday.
were they?
Mhm.
Dealing with everything that happened with
Just,
officer?
just present, just in case anybody needed to express their feelings as a result of the death of Officer Ryan.
Thank you. A lot of people don't realize that the wellness is there and what they do. I just recently learned about them in the last 6 months, so I just figured that's something that the taxpayers should know, that officers do have an outlet now if they so need it. It's very new.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then going back up on the agenda, there are 2 items that we've agreed to group together. They relate to an agreement with Archtop Fiber for fiber optic services to the transfer station to improve the security camera system that is at the impound yard, and also the upgrade of the fiber to the town hall and the highway garage complex. So may I have a motion to accept both and authorize the signing of said agreements?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion approved. The next item on our agenda is the motion to authorize renewal for the 2026 of the town's property and casualty insurance with Travelers Insurance and excess liability insurance with Merchants Insurance. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Groot, is there any discussion that you would like to add as you have reviewed this?
Oh, I've reviewed it, definitely reviewed it, and I'm very disappointed that we were not able to get the previous limits that we had, but that was due to our losses and everything that has happened in the insurance world. They actually came to us and said, sorry, we're not gonna do this.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to authorize the renewal of the 2026 Town's Cyber Insurance Program. Mr. Van Cleek, you told me something before the meeting that I didn't know, so you want to share on this specific?
Oh, all coverages stayed the same and there's no problems. No changes.
And this is the program that provided us financial security during the events in 2024. So may I have a motion to authorize the renewal of the insurance program?
So moved.
I'll
Second,
second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to authorize the supervisor to sign the engagement letters with EFPR Group CPAs for the town of Ulster 2025 financial statement audit and the federal single audit reports. Excuse me, what? Okay, we can. The next is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the engagement letters for EFPR for the AUP report for the town justice and the town clerk, receiver of taxes report, and the specific federal single audit report. May I have a motion on the three agreements?
I make that motion.
I
Second,
will second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. The next item. Mr. Tutt. I knew you were there.
Yeah.
Could you explain to the board and the people here, the application that we have received here?
So previously, IPP Solar purchased an approved plan for a 5 megawatt facility at the end of Woods Road, adjacent to Camping World. The new owners have requested to increase the number of solar panels so they can achieve the 5 megawatt. They've also requested to add 1 or 2 battery energy storage systems to supplement the charging stations that they would also like to install. As such, it was a modification to the site plan previously approved. They have made it through planning. They made it to part 2 of the seeker accepted by the town planner. Since this falls on the utility company structure, it is a special permit from the town board. Consequently, the town board has to accept part 2 seeker as complete, accept lead agency status, and authorize the forwarding of all pertinent information to the county planning.
Have the fees been paid?
Yes.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the resolution for the EAF Part 2 approval for IPP Solar LLC at 550 Woods Road, Kingston, SBL 48.14-1-1.112.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on this specific project?
That the applicant has been extremely thorough and extremely forthright with all information and very clear about what they're doing.
Very good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving to old business. First item is a resolution granting a 1-year extension of the site plan approval for Ulster Hospitality LLC. This is for the hotel pad at the Caremont Medical Plaza. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. On the agenda, we have a resolution authorizing the deputy town supervisor to execute the First Amendment to the agreement for payment in lieu of taxes to pilot with the Quality Housing Development Fund Company. May I have a motion to table this?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a
And
second?
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our agenda for tonight. I'm pleased to open the floor for conversation and discussion on any matter that the town residents wish to present to the town board.
I would like to take a moment here, just a moment. And I want to say thank you to Anna. This is our last meeting and we wanted to say thank you for working with us. We appreciate you. And yes, I brought you Italian flowers, just so you know, that you'll remember us. On the same token, at this time, I would like to address everyone in our audience and say that when Jim and Anna decided to be absent, we as a town came together. Clayton took on the role for the 3rd time. And yes, everybody stepped up to the plate. Every single department head came together. Everybody actually breathed a sigh of relief. There was no pitting of people against each other. There was no infighting. There was no locking horns. And it was really nice to see everyone come together for the town. And for that, I know there's a lot of department heads home that are watching this, and for the ones that are here. And for every employee in this town, I thank you for coming together because we all came together for the right reason. And you're not all elected officials. We had to come together as elected officials, but every single employee came together to help. And we really do appreciate that. Your constituents appreciate that. You guys all did the right thing, and thank you for doing that. You actually got a lot of respect from me and from my fellow board members. And we were looking forward to a brighter future, and we started to plan for that. We had not received any legal paperwork in regard to Jim's resignation. And I honestly don't know what our legal liabilities are in protecting all of us as of January 1st. We have to now venture into that and see what we're supposed to do. Nobody gave us any legal documentation. Nobody has ever done this before. So we really don't know what to do. We will be turning to the Board of Elections. We'll be going to everybody that we have to make sure that we are not putting our town in jeopardy by allowing us to continue as we so think we're supposed to. I don't honestly know. I am going to tell you that the behavior that was here before, we will not allow to continue. Our trust and hope in Clayton earned respect from both myself and Mike. We saw him step up and do things and put his own business aside to run this town for everybody. And everybody was helping everybody else and actually looked forward to coming to work, and everybody had their own bright ideas. So I definitely want to say thank you to everybody. I honestly trust each and every employee who works in this town. You really did what had to be done when the chips were down, and I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Root. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Mr. Van Cleek, would you like to add anything?
No, that's.
I have a hand in the back.
Good evening, Matt Molinaro, Warren Street, also a very proud employee of the Town of Ulster Highway Department and the Chief Shop Steward.
Your microphone's on.
You're not.
Chief Shop Steward for the Town of Ulster Local 17 members. I'd also like to mimic Mary Ann and say thank you to the Deputy Supervisor and the Town Board for your efforts over the past month and allowing the town day-to-day operations to continue and the employees to continue to come to work, get a paycheck, and also to continue answering my questions as the Chief Shop Steward as needed. As the Chief Shop Steward, I'd like to also offer my congrats and job well done to Nancy Gallo on her career and welcome her back to the Town Hall and to assist with the daily operations. As a very proactive Chief Shop Steward, working daily and weekly with the department shop stewards, the supervisor and deputy supervisor on contract issues, personnel issues, or safety concerns. However, I have been contemplating my next comments. As usually in my position, I wait for a steward or employee to come to me with a concern before I take it upon myself to bring it to a department head or to the town board and supervisor. However, over the past year or more, there have been several union employees who have retired after several years of service to the town and are shortly hired back thereafter to their previous position or department to help with the transition or on a more permanent part-time basis. To my knowledge, they have all been hired back at a wage of $35 an hour. And tonight it was confirmed that at least the last two plus tonight have been hired back at that. With that being said, without giving employee names and for telling you for sure they haven't come to me with this, there are two very dedicated highway employees with close to 60 years of service to the town of Ulster who have been recently hired back and since are part-time with the highway department and making the same wage that they retired at. So I am respectfully asking the supervisor and the personnel committee to look into this discrepancy and see if these two employees are entitled to the same part-time wage that the other employees are making. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comments? Ma'am?
Okay. Good evening. My name is Melissa Iachetta. I'm a resident of Kingston, and I'd like to provide a public comment about the proposed TerraGen project in the town of Ulster. I am the program director at New Yorkers for Clean Power, a statewide nonprofit that works to shift New York to a clean, green economy. Although I live and work in Kingston, I frequent Lake Katrine at least once a week. I am not afraid to be in a town or neighbor to one with the largest battery energy storage project in New York State. I would be proud to pass it as I drive along Route 87, proud to tell folks that my county is leading on grid reliability. I live by Forsyth Nature Center and actually share the same distribution circuit that comes out of the Hurley Avenue substation, which brings electricity to my apartment and which this project would be connected to. There's been a lot of misinformation and fear touted around this project and BESS in general. The fact is, energy storage technology is safe, common, and well tested, and this project has been proposed at a reasonable and appropriate location. Energy storage projects operate safely and reliably all across the country and the world every day. Ulster County alone has more than 330 small-scale battery storage projects in operation today, totaling more than 500 megawatts, which is twice the size of this project. This project meets or exceeds all best practices and guidelines for responsible siting. The facility will be located at a distance of 7 to 8 times farther from the nearest building than what the National Fire Protection Association deems a remote battery storage project. And I'm not alone in my support. My organization represents 600 plus members in Ulster County alone who support local clean energy, and they want to see best projects moving forward. We have started a petition for folks to sign on in support of the Terrigen project, and in the last week alone, we've collected 40 plus signatures from local residents in support of this application. I support the Terrigen energy storage project and the essential services and benefits it can provide for our local economy and our power grid. When you vote, I encourage the Ulster Town Board to advance this project through a thorough, fair, and timely review process. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Any additional comments?
You got one?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Supervisor Quigley. Hello, Ulster Town Board and hello, people of Ulster. My name is Nico Revito. Regis, hello, we've exchanged emails. Oh, thank you. I'm from Dutchess County, across the river, in the town of LaGrange. And I want to also talk about the battery facility since it came up. I'm not here to butt into what some see as a local issue, but I'm here to express a perspective that sees the battery project as affecting the whole Hudson Valley. The decisions made on this will affect us all on both sides of the river. In the town of LaGrange, in Dutchess County, there is also a proposed large battery facility, 190 megawatts, that's just starting to be discussed. So you're not alone in all this, and I'll be keeping an eye on the projects going on throughout the Hudson Valley because I have a great interest in this. And I think the decision really comes down to risk versus reward, as so many things do. The positive side is that batteries really do provide affordability. Yeah, I said the A word. And with cleaner air too, because it has the potential to turn off a lot of peaker plants. As we know, Hudson Valley is known as the moniker of Asthma Alley. A lot of people have respiratory conditions because the air doesn't get cleaned out from the valley very well. And peaker plants add to that. So I just want to say that I think that that's the positive side. On the negative side, I can see why people would be afraid, people would worry about safety. But if you really objectively look at the latest data and at the New York State Fire Code and the testing that they do, and the fact that, it's more than 95% of the cases have kind of dropped off as far as fire goes, it's pretty remarkably safe. And no toxins have ever been detected outside the perimeter of the facility. So I think that in conclusion, let me just go to my conclusion here, that I think the widespread adoption of batteries throughout the Hudson Valley and south into New York City and Long Island too, that's where they need it the most. I kind of think we need to think carefully about this, and I'm very glad to see that you guys are going through the secret process. I think that'll help reassure people as far as the environment goes. But I think that as far as safety goes, batteries are very safe. I don't think we should fear them. Thank you very much for the ability to address everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Here. And I will.
Any additional individuals with comments tonight?
Thank you.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful holiday and we'll see you in the new year. Please.